Hi, my name is Rebecca Powers with SLCT, and here is what's happening in Sterling and Lancaster. Construction is continuing on Route 117 in Lancaster and will continue for about 6 weeks. Please seek alternative routes if possible. The 7th annual Let's Move 5K will be held on September 9th at the SDA Village Church, 75 Sawyer Street in Lancaster. Registration is at 8:30 a.m. and the race starts at 10 a.m. For more information, call the church at 978-365-2403. Due to lack of rain and the water pumping being abnormally high for the month of June, Lancaster is trying to be proactive by asking residents to adhere to a voluntary water ban. There will be a Bolton Orchards Walk on Saturday, August 11th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. This will be a guided tour through the Bolton Connection Trail. For more information, email recinfo@lancasterma.net.
I'm Lex Thomas, editor of Sterling Meeting House News and reporter at large for Sterling-Lancaster Community Television. Here in Sterling, we are kind of in a unique situation in that we have a very outdated town plan, a master plan. Now, a master plan is extremely important to a community for a variety of reasons, and there is really nobody better to speak to this than Maureen Cranson. She is on the Board of Selectmen. She's been involved with the town of Sterling in so many capacities for so many years. Welcome, Maureen, and thank you for taking the time to be here.
Thanks, Lex.
So first of all, why a master plan? Why a town plan? Why does this matter?
Well, to your point, it's important in that it's a roadmap. It's a roadmap for our future. And the master plan that we do have sitting on the shelf in the town hall is not quite as old as me, but old and outdated. So many things have happened since that master plan was put out there. I mean, we've got Iowa 92, 290 even, So many things have happened, both with our open space. Our housing is different now. Everything is different, obviously.
Now, how often is a master plan typically renewed?
It should be done or revisited. Pretty much revisited yearly. But to actually delve into it and make it new again, 10 years at the max.
So we're like about 4 decades behind on this.
About that, maybe 5.
Yeah. So it's definitely time.
But for instance, you look at what the Open Space and Committee is doing, and OSEC. They are in the process of redoing the Open Space Plan as we speak, which is part of our master plan. That's one of our chapters. And they renew theirs. Like the state requires them to renew theirs because it makes them more eligible to get grants, et cetera, and so on. But there's actually 9 chapters to the master plan, and this is a template basically from the state. And we got a grant from the state when we joined the Community Compact. It's about a year ago, just a year ago, last June, that we got that. And in essence, a master plan is under the purview of our planning board. However, we have 5 people on the planning board, all volunteers, like so many people in town. And to tackle this type of a project is a little bit much when they have other things going on. So we started to implement, we took that $25,000 and we hired a facilitator. And this woman, Judy Barrett, this is what she does for a living. She's a planner. She has written master plans for various towns, including Princeton a few years ago. She helped on the Groton plan. So she's kind of taken us down a path so that we can put some meat on the bone for our future town planner. In order to do that, we need some volunteers. And I have to say, I was so proud and excited to we have pretty much 40 volunteers all told, plus in that, and everybody has a different interest, which is a good thing. And despite the fact that these people don't always have to come to a meeting that we have them once a month, they can work offline. They can ask the questions that we pose at our meetings of their neighbors, of their friends, in whatever community they're in, whether they be business or not. So 9 chapters. We've already started looking at the transportation and circulation, and the other night we did economic development, which was very interesting. But as you know, because you're working with them, the Economic Development Committee is a pretty vibrant committee in itself.
It is.
So they have some really good things to bring to the table down the road. Our next one will be housing and residential. We'll revisit the open space plan with the OSIC people and anybody else that's interested in it. We'll hopefully get people from the historical side of the town to work with us on the cultural, historical and cultural. We'll get some artists like yourselves and ROMAP. And what we have for facilities and services in town. We're really lucky as far as what we have. We have a really vibrant police and fire station.
Sure do.
The senior center itself for not just our elderly, but anybody that has issues. The veteran services is over there. So we'll be looking at all of that. And land use in town. What's the best way to use the land that is available? And that'll tie right into housing and open space. They all kind of get knitted together at the end.
At the end.
End.
I've been to the first 3 meetings, and these meetings, by the way, they take place the third Thursday of the month at the Butterick Municipal Building at 6:30 p.m. This typically goes from 6:30 to 8:30, and Judy's very good about starting and ending on time. It's been really nice to see so many people out, but it's also important that people keep coming out for this. And one of the things that has really been discussed is what people's vision is for the town. What do we want our town to be now? How do we visualize our town in 10 years, in 15 years? And so you're right, this does provide a roadmap. Now, we're also in the process of seeking a town planner. And can you talk a little bit about that? And
well, a
where
town
we are in
planner
that
is
process?
something that was actually talked about a few years ago and got voted down at our town meeting, which at the time I could understand because we really didn't have anybody trying to put all of this together. But what we found as we went along with the economic development, the town administrator himself, the planning board, is that we need somebody that's 24/7 working on things like this and our future. And we were one of the very few towns that didn't have a town planner, which was kind of a stunner for me. I thought, well, but so now we're in the process, and hopefully we'll approve a town planner job description. We'll get that posted and put it out there, and hopefully find an individual that fits with the town and all of the things that we want and look forward to. And hopefully we'll have that individual by September at some point. Again, it's one of those things that, we had to wait till town meeting and get the vote from the general public, and then we could move forward with hiring somebody.
Now, the process that's going on now with Judy Barrett, how's that going to work in with the town planner? Because she is not our town planner; she is a facilitator.
No, right.
So, how's that all going to mesh?
Well, what we're doing is actually collecting information. As you know, we had poster boards out throughout town, asking people what their favorite things were in town or what they liked best about living in Sterling. And there were no real surprises there. It really, a lot of what we do in town got pluses on that. And our next step will be putting poster boards out and say, okay, now what do you like least about town? I think those are going to come back blank.
We certainly hope so. But that's an interesting point, Maureen, because having been part of that, I was in charge of one of those of those poster boards. I looked after the one that was at the library. And one of the things that the process made me realize was really how much there is in town.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes, it's easy, especially when one attends as many meetings, especially as you do, but as I do as well, it's easy to just say, well, there's this challenge, there's that problem, there's how do we get any of this done? And to really have all this put together and say, we've got a tremendous base here from which to really build a town that really works for the future. Yeah. Now, you've been on the Board of Selectmen now. This is your 4th year, your second term, the beginning of your second term. What changes have you seen, and what do you see happening in future with, I know there was a government study done a number of years ago. How is this, how do you see things playing out?
Interesting question. Unfortunately, the government study was pretty much shelved. I mean, we have accomplished some of the things in there, but very, very few in the more of the minor, the majors, not so much. So I would like to revisit that because I think some of what those volunteers put together can play into what our future is all about here in Sterling. As far as changes, I think we've got a plus in our town administrator. I've found him to be a fair leader. Doesn't always do what I tell him, but that's the way it goes. But some of the changes over the years, you've got more volunteers stepping up and stepping in. And even if it's just for a couple of meetings here and there, it really doesn't matter. Any hours that you give are a plus. But getting back to what you had said about the positives in town, sometimes your life gets so busy that you don't look at the whole picture, so you don't take part in the lake because that doesn't fit into your schedule. But look at the recreation programs we have and how vibrant they are. Look at the library and the programs they're doing. Absolutely. The senior center. The senior center is probably one of the biggest changes that we have. They have a bright new building. And if you look at their calendar, it almost takes your breath away because there's so much going on packed over there,
Yes.
And thank God the parking lot is always full. And it's not just bagels and yoga. They have some really good programs going on, whether it be, they do the regular bingo and book club and crafts, but other things that have everything to do with a person's health. Bringing the veterans office over there was a big plus.
And having the art shows
the
there.
Art show every 6 weeks. All the different artists that are out there.
Yes.
It's stunning and so exciting.
And the wonderful thing is that it's really for people of all ages.
All ages.
Because, some of the artists that have been represented have been seniors, but by no means all of them.
Right.
And, you're working together with the schools.
They're working with the schools. They have some school programs over there. They have, we do, in June, they do the kids' art, which is fabulous, and so it gets the community together because you got the parents, the grandparents, and the kids. And so that's obviously a big change that I've seen in the last few years, and because that's only been open 2 years now, I think.
Right.
So that's a plus. And just things that we're doing in town. Look at what the SMLD has done, the light department.
It's
the battery
fabulous.
storage, along with one of the bigger businesses in town, the LDQ. It's fabulous.
It really is.
And so I think one of the big changes that I see is that we have some really good people in place doing really good things. The 1835, there's movement there. You can see there's movement there.
Sure.
Don't walk by right now. It still doesn't, it's still a little bit curious as to what its future is, but at least you're getting the infrastructure done.
And you're getting that sense of moving forward.
Right.
Now, you've talked about having wonderful people in place. You've talked about there being an influx of volunteers, but let's face it, we always need volunteers.
Oh, yeah.
We always need
Absolutely.
more people involved. How can people... Somebody that's sitting at home watching this and thinking, gosh, how can I get involved?
I say call Lex. 978, no.
There you go. Thank you, Maureen.
You can go to the town website, which is another thing that we've updated and still in the process of updating, so it's easier to navigate through. We hired a new IT company a few years ago, 2 years ago again, and they've been very good. On the municipal part of it, they've been excellent as far as we were in scary places as far as IT, but also with virtual town hall and updating it and getting people to go in and navigate it. So working on things like that. But if you want to volunteer for anything, there's always something. Finance is looking, capital is looking, recreation could use a couple more people. Even if you don't get appointed to a board or a committee, go to those meetings and see what they're about.
That's right, because all those meetings are public, and they are all listed on the schedule.
Yeah.
And even keeping up with a Board of Selectmen's meetings, I attend as often as I can, but sometimes if I can't, I just watch them on the stream, which is provided by this wonderful network, by Sterling-Lancaster Community Television. It's one of the things that we have so people can really keep up with what's going on. It sounds like we've got some exciting times ahead, Maureen.
I think so. I'm pretty excited about
it. There's a lot of motion.
Yes, a lot of motion, and I would, ask people, don't hesitate to come into the town hall and find out what's going on and how you can,
And we're always interested in people's opinion. Don't wait to see a poster board up there. If you have something to say, if you want to express something,
And there's a place on the website where you can make comments to the different boards and committees.
Exactly. Or, of course, you can always just phone Maureen. That's always a possibility, too.
That happens, too.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you can go in there and you can make your comments. You can, or something that you think that the town should work on.
Right.
But back to the master plan and how important it is to the town and how important it is to others other than me. I mean, to me, where we are in 20 years probably not going to make a big difference. However, maybe we'll have some housing that I could actually navigate. But, it's your future. It's the future, and when people say I'm way too busy for that, well, come and see what it's all about, or read about it on the webpage, and voice your opinion, because this is your town, and this is, what we're trying to do today is going to impact what happens in 5 to 8 years.
And it's going to impact what happens to us, to our children, to our grandchildren, so as the generations grow here,
One thing I would throw out there as far as, because I know we all hear, people want the beautification of downtown Sterling. Who wouldn't want that? Who doesn't want to see a revitalization of the Sterling Inn, or something happening at the Worcester Street Garage, or the sidewalks being fixed? We all want that. But some of what needs to be cautionary is a lot of these things cost money.
Of course.
So one of the things about a master plan, it sets you up with the state and the feds as far as possibly getting funding for some of these projects.
Right.
Sean Hamilton over at the light department, the manager over there, he's been very successful. But that's because they have their act together. And so our goal now is to, he's got his act together. Let's get our act together. And that's where we're headed. But, I know people are busy with the kids and the soccer and the school and all of that, but we meet at 6:30. It's strictly 2 hours. Judy is very good about keeping us on purpose. And, or any of the other meetings that you see. You go to the calendar and say, I'd like to see what Rec's doing.
Right.
Or what the economic development is doing.
So all of this information is on the website. It's a wonderful opportunity to get involved, and we encourage you to do so. Maureen, thank you so much for chatting with me.
Hey,
and
always a joy and a pleasure.
And I look forward to seeing everything that we're going to be doing over the next couple of years. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you, Lex.
Fort Devon's training activities are in full swing for the summer. For more information on when the training exercises will occur, visit the Lancaster website www.ci.lancaster.ma.us. The town of Lancaster has started its seasonal water chlorination. The DEP has mandated that they treat the town water for the summer months. Lancaster residents may notice a slight chlorine odor in the water. The Thayer Memorial Library will be holding the event How to Make Stuff Move. This event will be held August 16th from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Children will investigate magnetism and electricity. For more information, call the library at 978-368-8928 extension 2. The 2018 Greek Festival will be held on September 14th and 15th at the Holy Trinity Greek Orthodox Church at 1319 Main Street, Fitchburg. This event will include music, food, and dancing. For more information, call 978-342-1216. I'm Rebecca Powers, and that's what's happening.